First, you want to start off by mattifying your brows. This is usually done to take out the excess oil on the brows and to make the brows last longer. So using a powder puff, I'm going in with my translucent powder. You want to dust off the excess and let it be smooth. You don't want to go in with too much powder because you're only just mattifying your eyebrows. So you just tap it lightly to your eyebrows and it gets rid of the oils or any excess shine on the brows. Now you can see how we got rid of that shine on my forehead and on my eyebrows. So that's what you want to achieve. Next, we're going in with brow gel to lay down the brows. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. And then you're going to be doing this with a spoolie or a mascara wand, like a clear, empty mascara wand to lay your brows down. Now once you're done with that, you want to go back in with your hands to lay it down flat again. I usually do this just so it stays put and it does not move. After that, you want to get rid of the shine from the gel just so the pencil is able to glide on smoothly and your brows last longer. So I'm going back in with my translucent powder and a powder puff just to mattify that area again before I go in with my brow pencil. Next, I'll be going in with my brow pen. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. So for brow pens, you really want to be careful with your application. You want to focus on the tip of the pen. Do not use the body, use the tip to draw your brows. And you're majorly going to be drawing light strokes on the areas where you do not have a lot of hairs, the areas that are sparse. And you also don't want to go in heavy-handed. You want to go in as light as possible. So keep your hands very, very light when you're applying with a brow pen. And you can see I'm actually just focusing on those ends of my eyebrows because those are majorly the areas where I like to fill, and I like to leave the beginning out because it does not require much filling and I want it to have a natural finish. So you want to only work with your brow pen tip instead of the body. You're using the tip right now rather than the body. And an easier way to get this is to just follow the direction of your natural hair on your eyebrows to create the strokes. Next, you want to go in with your spoolie just to brush out the hairs in front. I'm kind of diffusing that brow pen I drew in front to give it a much more natural finish. So instead of it having that separation you can see in front, like the difference between the brow pen and my natural brows, I'm kind of brushing them together so it just diffuses it into my eyebrows so it looks more natural. Next, you want to go into concealing. For your concealer, you need a precise flat concealer brush just like this. It has to be flat like so because that is what will be able to help you get into the areas you need to get into. I'll be going in with my Fenty concealer in the shade 385W. Now, you don't want to pack in a lot of concealer or too little. You want to stay in between. So you take a good amount of concealer on your brush. And for your brush, you want to make sure you hold it on like the first quarter of the brush, not in the middle, not at the end. You want to hold it close to the top, but not too close. And you want to start off concealing your brows from your brow bone. And when you're applying your concealer, once you apply, you drag it down. This is because it just makes it easier for you to blend out your concealer once you drag down like that. Because once you drag down, you can then use that concealer which you drag to blend out the rest of the concealer on the eye. But if you did not drag down and just applied straight, it might be very difficult for you to blend out that concealer and it will not look seamless once you blended it out. Now, once we're done with that, you want to go in with your foundation. So I like to use a brighter concealer on the brow bone because I want the focus to be on that area and I want that area more highlighted. Then I use my foundation shade or a darker concealer to conceal the ends and the beginnings of my brows. I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 342 to highlight the beginning and the ends, and I'm just using the same brush but I just flipped it over to the other side to use the other color. And in the same manner, we're going to apply and then drag down. To blend out the concealer, you're going to need a fluffy blending brush just like this. And before you blend, you want to tap on the product to your brush just so you have something to blend with and so it doesn't take away the product when you're blending. And you want to start off blending from the edges of the concealer and then upward. So I'm blending it out from the edges and then I'm going into the concealer to blend. And you also want to blend in tapping motion. Don't drag, don't rub, just tap in the product to your face. And then I go ahead to clean out the beginning of the brows just so it has that natural finish. And once you're done with that, you want to go in with a blending brush just like this and your translucent powder just to set that concealer in place and make it stay in place.